Hello, I am Dr. Cinema, and before we get into this episode today, happy Star Wars Day. Star Wars is a great franchise. I love watching the movies, yes, even the bad ones, because even then there is still some good stuff in there. It's a franchise and no one thought would be successful, and it became American pop culture basically. So despite any flaws or mistakes George Lucas has done, he still brought us a great franchise, and I just want to take that moment to celebrate it. And we're going to celebrate it even further in this episode of Movie Face Off. Now, as you can tell, this episode is going to be doing Star Wars Episode 3 Revenge of the Sith versus Rogue One, a Star Wars story. Now, we can all agree that when it comes to the prequels of Star Wars, people are generally either pretend they don't exist or just hate them with an absolute passion. And while I do agree that on the whole the prequels suck, there's still some good stuff in there, I'll admit it. And when I went with Rogue One to see Rogue One in theaters, I wasn't really that impressed. I went with some friends, two of them you know, Jake Sobiak from the Suicide Squad review, and Matt Slang from the Suicide Squad review and the Bad Moms review, and we weren't really that happy about it. Not really. So, well, by the way, to decide how good exactly it is by putting it up against the best prequel by default, Revenge of the Sith. 5 rounds as usual. Cast, story, effects and action, big moments, and importance in the franchise. So without further ado, movie face-off. Round 1 is cast. Now, of course, in the prequel, episode 3, we've got the usual people from the other two previous prequel films. Hayden Christensen as Anakin, Ian McGregor as Obi-Wan, the actor whose name I forgot as Emperor Palpatine, Samuel Jackson as Mace Windu. We got the whole cast basically, and Ian McGregor is probably like the best choice for the role he's in. I mean, if you were to ask me what I think Obi-Wan was in like his young years, Ian McGregor's performance is what I would usually think of. I mean, it's fairly spot on actually. And believe it or not, Hayden Christensen does have two of like his best moments as Anakin in this film, but on the whole, everyone doesn't really do that well. And the cast of Rogue One, certainly while interesting, they have their moments. They're just sort of bland, a little forgettable even. Like, I know Jyn Erso, because she's the main character. Mr. Erso is what I call her father, the guy who created the Death Star. And Darth Vader's in it a little bit, but otherwise I don't really remember many of the people. But there really isn't many like genuinely bad moments, just kind of bland and forgettable, which is the main problem. But on the whole, the cast of Rogue One is a little bit more appealing than the cast of Revenge of the Sith as a whole. So this round goes to Rogue One. So 1-0. Now let's go on to the round 2, which is story. Now the story of Revenge of the Sith is very simple. At the end, like at the beginning, the first little like chunk of it is basically focusing on battling General Grievous, ending the Clone Wars. Anakin and Padme dealing with the fact that they're pregnant, twins are coming, and of course, Anakin being finally seduced to the dark side, Order 66, and pretty much setting up for a new hope. It's a story we all know. The story of Rogue One, it does have sort of an interesting premise. I mean, how exactly were the battle plans obtained? I mean, that could be an interesting story, and near the end, it does get kind of exciting, but it's just really not that engaging. I mean, we probably guess what's going to happen at the end because we know what happens in A New Hope. But also, the story of Revenge of the Sith has some moments that are just pretty great and does keep you engaged because even though you know how it's going to end, you still want to know exactly how it goes. You want to know exactly how things end that are set up for New Hope. So I'm going to have to give this round to Revenge of the Sith. So 1-1 tie. Now, round 3, effects and action. Now, at the beginning of Revenge of the Sith, we've got some nice action scenes that actually look like this could be a good Star Wars movie. I mean, it's a little over top. There's nice fighting. R2D2 has some little nice moments as the battle goes on in the ship in space above the planet. And we do get some nice fighting action, like near the end too, with Obi-Wan and Anakin, and like those two little mini flying things going over lava and stuff. And of course, the famous scene, "I have the high ground." I mean, that stuff's pretty great. But that doesn't compare to the two things in Rogue One that everyone can agree on. First of all, space battle slash land battle at the end of the film, freaking awesome. Let me try to explain that better. Like, when I saw The Force Awakens, I liked the story, even though it was copying basically a lot of the stuff from previous films, would sort of make it its own in a way. I still liked the story part of it, but when it came to like the climactic battle at the end on the Starkiller base, just really wasn't that emotionally engaged and stuff. Not really that impressive, actually. But with Rogue One, the plot's bland, but the action at the end, oh my god, that's freaking awesome. So space battle, that's the one thing a lot of people agree on. That's awesome. But the second thing everyone agrees on is the Darth Vader hallway scene. Oh my god, that's easily one of the best Darth Vader scenes of all time. So awesome. So, obviously, as you can tell, I'm giving this one to Rogue One. Because I'm always going to remember those scenes. And not like I'm not going to remember the scenes from Revenge of the Sith, but the Rogue One ones are just so entertaining. So 2-1 for Rogue One. Time for round 4, big moments. Now here's what I mean by big moments. Like, there's a lot of Star Wars films. We've got 7 episode movies, 1 anthology stories, a Christmas special we do not talk about, and now an 8 and a 9 coming out, as well as a Han Solo anthology, and possibly an Obi-Wan anthology as well. There's a lot of movies, and each movie, in order to be recognizable on its own, has to have some moments in the movie that everyone recognizes, like, oh yeah, that's from there. Like from New Hope, you have Luke, like, going along the trench on the Death Star. Like, you see that scene, like, yeah, that's New Hope. Or, Luke, I'm your father. Even though that's not the actual quote, but a lot of people recognize that as from The Empire Strikes Back. And of course, in Return of the Jedi, you've got the first appearance of Palpatine and, like, the lightning hands and the Ewoks, regardless of whether or not you like them or not, you recognize that as from Return of the Jedi. So the point is, you need to have moments that sort of make you stand out. And as far as Rogue One goes, like I said, it's bland. A lot of the main characters are forgettable, but of course the Darth Vader scene is the scene that makes it recognizable. And while that's really good from an action and Darth Vader side, there are moments in Revenge of the Sith that are just surprisingly good. Like, I mentioned earlier that Padme and Anakin have to do with the fact they're pregnant. And when Padme tells Anakin she's pregnant, like the first time telling him that, you can see on his face, he goes like from surprise to shock to fear to happy to fear again. There's actually a lot of emotion in that one shot. And there's another shot later on where both Padme and Anakin are in different places, but looking outside over the city, thinking about the future and such, and what danger lies ahead. That's an emotionally gripping scene. And of course, you have other scenes such as Palpatine find all the Jedi who confront him, and again Obi-Wan's fight at the end, and the Palpatine Yoda fight in there. But the one big moment in Revenge of the Sith is that opera scene where Palpatine goes into the story of Darth Plagueis the Wise. Now, the nostalgia critic over at the YouTube channel Awesome goes into more depth than I probably will here, but it's adding mythology to the mythology of Star Wars. It's actually exploring the lore and the world of Star Wars, and he does it in a way where you could probably guess that he was actually there. Like, he knows exactly what happened, but also telling different versions that might have been construed or changed by other people. It's just a really amazing and great scene. And it's because of those moments that I'm going to have to give this to Revenge of the Sith, because that's actually some pretty powerful stuff. So 2-2 tie. Last round. Importance in the franchise. When we heard that Disney planned on making a Star Wars movie for every year, a lot of people were either really happy about that, or they're worried that it was going to end up just being like mediocre films and such. And while generally people tend to like Force Awakens, when it came to Rogue One, which is like an anthology, which basically means like in between the prequel and original trilogy, it just felt unneeded. Like, yeah, it's kind of nice to know exactly how the Death Star plans were obtained, but it really wasn't necessary. And they never show up again because, spoiler alert, everyone dies except Darth Vader and Akbar. Because, come on. So, it really doesn't really hold any impact, and you can definitely skip over it, except for the Darth Vader scene, of course, because you have to watch that. But as a movie as a whole, it's kind of unnecessary. Revenge of the Sith, it's of course it's called the best prequel by default, but it still holds the importance of finally showing the final stages of Anakin turning into Darth Vader, seeing the Jedi fall, seeing the Republic fall. And whether or not we actually liked how George Lucas decided to show this and how he went about it, those were still questions where before the prequel trilogy began, we were really wondering like how exactly it happened. So, and we still talk about it. So, round goes to Revenge of the Sith. So 3-2 win for Revenge of the Sith, and that's where it is. Rogue One's worse than one of the prequels. Yeah, great job, Disney. But yeah, that's the movie Face Off. And like I said on previous videos I did yesterday, guys, I just need one more subscriber and I can release a very special Face Off. It'll be amazing. Just please, one more subscriber, please. And also, this might be my only video today, so hope you have a happy Star Wars day. Have a great day. If you're a college student and you still have finals to do, good luck on that. I'm in college. I know what that's like. I actually just finished today. So, this is Dr. Cinema. See you next time.